The Roman people have a legendary origin forged in iron and blood. The founding of the city was marked by the fratricide of Remus, who was killed by Romulus, the founding father of Rome. Early in his reign, Romulus created the first Roman legion, brave men willing to defend the city and shed blood for Rome's glory. From among the wealthiest and most respectable elders, he raised a class of leaders known as patricians, lords of political and religious power. The assembly of these noble patricians became known as the Roman Senate. But, despite this early development, Rome faced a serious problem: the lack of women in the city. Without mothers to give birth to true Romans, the city could never flourish. Roman emissaries tried to bargain marriages with kingdoms neighboring Rome, but the monarchs distrusted the Romans and were unwilling to give them their daughters. Romulus was not satisfied and devised a plan to achieve his goal. The Romans invited the neighboring Sabines to the Great Games in honor of the gods during the harvest festival. The Sabines were an Italic tribe living in the hills adjacent to Rome, known for being fierce warriors and having beautiful women. During the festivities, Romulus gave his men a sign. They suddenly grabbed the Sabine women and took them into their homes. The Sabines were outraged by such an act, but they were not prepared to fight. Still, they swore revenge. War between the two peoples was declared. The conflict was long and brutal. The Sabine and Roman armies clashed several times. Led by King Titus Tatius, the Sabines tried to invade Rome, but could not break through the city's defenses. Rome was besieged on all sides. Meanwhile, the captured Sabines began to cling to their Roman captors and had already begotten several children. But there was one betrayal. Tarpeia, daughter of the head of the Capitoline Guard, opened the gates to her enemies in exchange for valuable golden bracelets. The Sabines took the opportunity to invade Rome, but they felt such contempt for the traitor that they hurled the bracelets against her and crushed her with shields for her undignified behavior. A new battle began between Romans and Sabines. It was difficult to predict the winner, but it was quite likely that the cost would be so high that the result would be a Pyrrhic victory. That's when the brave Sabine women, with their Roman children in their arms, stood between the two armies and begged for the fighting between the two peoples to end. They pleaded with the Romans not to kill their in-laws and asked the Sabines not to liquidate the fathers of their grandchildren. They would rather die at that moment than become widows and orphans. After the Sabines intervened, peace between the Romans and Sabines was sealed. Romans and Sabines became one people. The Sabine king Titus Tatius went on to reign alongside Romulus over the city, whose splendor would one day eclipse all others.